Welcome to Speaking Practice. Today we're going to practice technology vocabulary and the present perfect. Have you ever? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. And I've never. Here's how it works. I'll ask you a question, then you'll hear a pause. During the pause, answer out loud. After the pause, you'll hear a model answer. Don't worry if your answer is different. There are many good ways to answer. Remember, present perfect uses have or has plus the past participle. Sometimes I'll ask you to make a question, not just answer one. Ready? Let's go. First, some quick questions. Answer with just one sentence. You want to know if Anna has ever made a website. Make the question using, have you ever?
Have you ever made a website?
Someone asks, have you ever downloaded an app? The answer is yes. Give a short answer.
Yes, I have.
Someone asks, have you ever printed photos? The answer is no. Give a short answer.
No, I haven't.
You have never sent a text message to the wrong person. Say it using, I've never.
I've never sent a text message to the wrong person.
Tom's grandfather doesn't have a modern phone with a touch screen and internet. What's the word for that kind of phone?
A smartphone.
Ask Tom if he has ever downloaded a music app. Make the question.
Have you ever downloaded a music app?
Anna has chatted to friends on the internet. Say it using the present perfect with a contraction.
She's chatted to friends online.
You want a small portable computer you can carry. What's the word?
A laptop.
Tom's grandfather has never used the internet. Say it with, hasn't.
He hasn't used the internet.
Ask about Tom's grandfather, has he ever owned a smartphone? Make the question with, has he ever?
Has he ever owned a smartphone?
Your friend says, I've never made a website. You also haven't. Agree in a natural way.
Me neither.
You copy a file from the internet to your phone. What's the verb?
Download.
Your friend says, I've never used a printer. You're surprised and want to know why. What's a friendly way to ask?
How come?
You have done many things with technology. Say it with, I've, and the past participle of do.
I've done many things with technology.
Great work. Now let's give longer answers, 2 or 3 sentences. Combine present perfect with technology vocabulary. Ask Tom if he has ever made a website. Then imagine he says yes, he made one for his football team. Say the whole mini conversation.
Have you ever made a website? Yes, I have. I made a website for my football team.
Talk about 2 things you've done with technology. Use I've with 2 different past participles.
I've downloaded many apps on my smartphone. And I've chatted online with friends from other countries.
Talk about 2 things you've never done with technology. Use I've never twice.
I've never made a website. And I've never printed photos, I keep them on my phone.
Tom's grandfather is 80 years old. Describe his experience with technology, 2 things he's never done.
Tom's grandfather has never used a smartphone. He hasn't chatted online to anyone. He doesn't go online at all.
Anna's father has a tablet. He downloads apps, but he's never played games online. Describe him.
Anna's father has a tablet and a laptop. He's downloaded many apps, but he's never played games online.
Your friend asks, have you ever written a program? Say no, and add that you've never done that.
No, I haven't. I've never written a program. It looks very difficult.
You're interviewing a classmate about technology. Ask 2, have you ever? Questions about different things.
Have you ever sent a text message to the wrong person? And have you ever downloaded a song from the internet?
Your friend says she's made her own website. React with surprise, then ask a follow-up.
Really? That's amazing. What kind of website did you make?
You've downloaded hundreds of apps, but your mother has never downloaded an app. Compare yourselves.
I've downloaded hundreds of apps on my smartphone. But my mother has never downloaded an app. She doesn't use a smartphone.
Now things get bigger. I'll give you a scenario and a hint. Try to speak for 4 to 6 sentences. Take your time, this is the present perfect, so use contractions like I've and he's never. Now, a bigger challenge. Try to mention at least 2 things you've done with technology and 2 things you've never done. Use I've and I've never. Describe your technology experiences. What have you done, and what have you never done?
Well, I've downloaded many apps on my smartphone. I've sent thousands of text messages. And I've chatted online with people from many countries. But I've never made a website. I've never printed photos, I keep them on my phone. And I've never written a program.
Good. Now try again. Use some ideas from the model answer if you like. Here's the next one. Try to use has never, hasn't, and at least 3 technology words from the lesson. Compare them to yourself if you can. Think of an older person in your family, a grandparent or parent. Describe their experience with technology.
My grandfather is 70 years old. He has never used a smartphone. He hasn't chatted online to anyone. He doesn't go online at all. But he has a laptop and he's sent a few emails. I've done many things with technology that he's never done.
Excellent. Try it once more with your own family member. One more challenge. Try to make 5 different "have you ever" questions using 5 different past participles. Think about websites, apps, messages, games, and printers. Imagine you're interviewing a friend about technology. Ask 5 "have you ever" questions.
Have you ever made a website? Have you ever downloaded a music app? Have you ever sent a text message to the wrong person? Have you ever played a game online? And have you ever printed photos at home?
Great. Now try one more time with your own 5 questions. Now let's talk about your real life. These questions are about your real technology experiences. Take your time. Now let's talk about your real life. Think about your real experiences with technology. What have you done? What have you never done? Try to use I've never, and at least 4 technology words. Tell me about your real technology experiences. What have you done in your life with technology? Here's an example of how I would answer this.
I've downloaded many apps on my smartphone. I use my phone for everything. I've sent thousands of messages and chatted online with friends. I go online every day on my laptop. But I've never made a website, and I've never written a program. My printer? I've used it maybe 5 times.
Now try one more time with your own answer. Last question, and this one is about someone you know. Think about a real parent, grandparent, or older friend. What technology have they used? What have they never done? Compare your experiences with theirs using I've and she's never. Compare your technology experience with a real older person in your life, a parent or grandparent. Here's my example.
I've done many things with technology. I've downloaded apps, chatted online, and even made files for work on my laptop. But my grandmother has never used a smartphone. She's never gone online. She hasn't sent a text message in her life. We're very different, but she writes beautiful letters on paper, and I've never done that.
Now try one more time with your own real family member. Amazing work. You just practiced the present perfect. Have you ever? I've never. Yes, I have. No, I haven't, all the way from single sentences to full descriptions. That's real progress with a new grammar. A tip for you: tonight, ask a friend or family member 3, have you ever, questions about technology. Listen to their answers and try to react with, really, or, me neither. The more you use the present perfect in real conversations, the more natural it becomes. See you next time on Speaking Practice. Keep talking.